Hi, I'm Shola Kaye. I'm a public speaking coach, a professional speaker, and also a performer based in London. And I run a company called Speak Up Like a Diva, Speak Up and Shine. And I love working in corporates as well, doing training. And that's me. And now I've got something for you because I want to talk about energy. I want to talk about having an awareness of your energy and give you some tips on how to alter that if need be. A client came to me the other day, and as many people do, she was experiencing some nerves before she was getting up to do her presentations for work. And we talked about some ways to deal with that. And we discussed the fact that what happens before a presentation for many of us is our bodies provide us with a surge of energy because we're aware that we've got a big opportunity coming up. There's something where, an opportunity where we have to deal with many people, where we may be under pressure, and our bodies prepare us for that by giving us this wave of energy. Now, for some of us, that energy is fabulous because it makes us jump up on stage and we're full of beans and rah. Whereas other people, when they feel that energy, that is what makes them feel afraid because they're thinking, oh, I'm so nervous. I've just got this wave of fear. And it's not actually fear. It's just chemicals in the body that are there to help you. And so some people need a way to actually dissipate that energy before they get on stage because otherwise they'll get all shaky, they'll feel really uncomfortable. And while other people, perhaps they might be a sort of lower energy typically, and they know that they need to rev themselves up before they get on stage. And I remember I was doing a performance with another singer. He's sort of relatively well known in the UK. He'd won one of those contests like The Voice or what's the other one that they do? The one with Simon Cowell. Anyway, who cares? But he'd won a contest, was performing internationally, and we were sharing the same dressing room, and his wife was there as well. It was all above board. And when it was time for him to go on stage, just before he did, he dropped down to the ground and he did 20 press-ups. And I said, well, why are you doing that? And he said, well, it just gives me the energy that I need to give to everybody when I'm up there performing. And so you might be in the first category where you want to lose a bit of energy before you go up, or you may want to pump yourself up. Whichever that one is, the important thing is to have an awareness of that. I've just given you an example from this singer of how you can raise your energy if you need to. You may not have to do something so extreme as jumping or lying down on the ground and doing press-ups. You could do press-ups against the wall, or you could just do some star jumps, go out of the room, of course, and do a few star jumps outside of the room. There are a variety of ways that you can raise your energy if you need to. Now, if you need to reduce your energy a bit and sort of dissipate some of that excess energy that's making you feel a bit jittery, one thing that you can do while you're still in the room waiting to speak is you can just sort of shake your hands out a little bit, or you can shake your legs. The sort of things that your PE teacher, when you're a little kid, your physical education teacher might have asked you to do before you did PE. But those are quite subtle gestures that you can do in the room. You can put your hands down at sort of knee level and shake them out, or just sort of shake your knees a little bit like you've got, like it's a cold day and you need to warm yourself up. And those are great little exercises just to get rid of some of that extra tension and excess energy before you go up on stage. Now, one more thing I want to mention about energy, and it's this, and it's that you may want to watch or be aware of what level of energy you have relative to your audience. Because if, for example, you're in front of a very small audience and they are quite chilled out, and then you jump on stage like Tigger the tiger from Winnie the Pooh and you're just full of energy and that can be really off-putting to your audience, and it can actually turn them against you. And in the same way, if you are very low energy and the audience is really high energy, they're very excited, maybe it's right after lunch, or they've just had a really active session right before you come on and speak to them, and your energy is really low and their energy is super high, again, it can be a serious mismatch and it can start you off on the wrong footing. Now, a few years ago, I really slipped up with one of my singing gigs. I'd been with a new agent and he had given me he told me about two opportunities to sing. One was fully contracted and fully booked, and the other one didn't come to anything. One was on a Friday, one was on a Saturday. Now, I confused the two. So the one that was fully booked and ready to happen was on the Friday, whereas I'd confused it for being on the Saturday. The upshot was that I was at home chilling, just very relaxed, and I get this phone call. Are you coming? Are you coming to perform? Like, what? And it turned out that I had an hour and a half drive ahead of me. I was already running horribly late. There was another act that was supposed to be the headline act and I was the support act. And what they said was, okay, well, since you'll be late, we'll put the headline on first and then you can be, as the support, you'll have to just come on after them. So I arrive, get myself, all flustered anyway, get myself all ready to perform. And the first set I was due to sing was ballads, right? Just slow songs. Whereas the headline act that had come on before me, because I was running late, they had ended with, all the party stompers, all the big tunes, everybody, up on the floor dancing, having a great time. The energy was up here. And then I walked on and the energy fell down to here because I was singing slow material and it was a complete downer for people. And as at the end of this is about 5-6 years ago now, but at the end of the show, I was getting dressed in the changing room, and I heard the person who had booked me speaking to these other guys, who's the main act, and saying, "Oh, the energy in her show was so low, and it was dreadful that she brought us down." And that's just a classic example, not a speaking example, but a performing example, a singing example of how a mismatch in energy can really be a complete bummer for the audience. So with all this talk about raising your energy, lowering your energy, depending on where you are as a speaker and what you need to feel comfortable on stage, you've also got to be aware of the audience too. And in NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Program, we have something called matching and pacing. And what that means is if you want to influence or to persuade, you typically need to start where your audience, where your listeners are. So rather than coming in and saying, "Hey guys, I've got tons of energy, you're down here, but don't worry, I'm going to drag you up," that will quite often get people's backs up. They won't be too happy with that. Whereas if you come in roughly at their energy level, or you might say, "Oh, hey guys, you're quite chilled out today, aren't you?" They're like, yeah, we just had lunch, it was a big meal, we're feeling a bit full and relaxed. That's fine. Come in where they are, and then slowly, as you progress through your talk, you can start to ramp the energy up and take them with you. And doing that is much easier than you starting up here and they're being down here, and then you're saying, "Right, come on guys, yeah, just get up," and they're just very resistant. Okay, so remember you're matching, and then we call it pacing. So you match to start with, and then as you increase your energy or you take them where you want to go, then they keep pace with you. And so yeah, that's it really. That's all I want to talk about today. That's energy. Have an awareness of where yours is, where your audience's energy is, and be aware of who you need to be, how you need to behave, what energy you need to exhibit, and what level you need to be at when you start your presentation. All I want to say is thank you for listening. And if you're interested in finding out a bit more about me, I have some group online coaching programs, a 6 weeks to speaking success, self-paced program, and of course, private coaching. So please get in touch if you'd like to find out a bit more. Take care and keep the energy up. May the force be with you. Cheers.